Hi everyone and welcome back to One Autistic Person. This is the 18th video in a 50 video series that I'm doing going through the statements and questions of the Autism Quotient, which is a pre-screening tool which is quite often used as part of the assessment and diagnosis process for autism, and as it's part of the diagnosis process often looks at things as a deficit. As to get a diagnosis, the people doing the diagnosis need to look at the traits of autism as a deficit. What I wanted to do with these videos is flip that narrative both from the way I talk in the video, but also how people communicate, hopefully, as part of the commenting side of the videos. And we talk about how we can look at these things as positives, if there's benefits to it, and if there aren't either of those things, then are there mitigations and adjustments that we can put into place. So, as I say, this is the 18th question, and it is, when I talk, it isn't always easy for others to get a word in edgeways. So for me, this is a definitely disagree. It's something I struggle with quite a lot, and it's something that I've really racked my brains with to sort of think about things from a positive perspective on it. And because as I say, I struggle quite considerably with this. I monologue a lot, and I am lucky enough that my friends and family, I've been able to have sort of deep conversations with them about the fact that, you know, I kind of need to do this. It's quite painful to me, like physically and mentally painful, when somebody cuts me off and stops me from monologuing. And the unfortunate thing is for the other person, I suppose, is that sometimes this can be a really long time. I can monologue for hours potentially about something and potentially repeat myself over and over again, but it needs to come out, so I need to put it somewhere. And luckily I have quite a good support network around me, where I've got my family are quite accepting of it. I'm not saying they don't get bored of what I'm saying. I'm not saying they wish that I'd stop doing it sometimes, but they are really good with it generally. But also my best friend is also neurodivergent, and we monologue at each other, and I think we kind of give each other the freedom to be able to monologue at each other, because we know the other one's going to have to do it at times. So the place where I really struggle with it is at work, and that's because of the fact that I don't know when to stop talking, and people, and that comes both from a social cue perspective. I don't pick up as much with people, but also the fact that I am talking about something that has been a special interest to me. So my work has been a special interest to me for most of my career. I wouldn't have carried on doing it, I don't think, if that had been the case. So for me, I kind of have an analogy to explain it to people. I've had a few different ones, and this is the best one that I can think of, is that my brain kind of works a little bit like a web builder. So I have my homepage, which is always there, and that's my general sort of mask, and the way that people see me, just my name, my face, me. And then behind that, I have my special interests, which are always there. So I've got loads of information on about 5-6 pages, web pages. You can go in and straight away I can give you information about those. But I'm always building behind the scenes different sort of short to long term special interest that I've got. So there'll be a certain thing that I'm really interested at the moment in. I'm researching, I'm putting all of that information into the homepage. That's another part of my brain. Once that's filled up, I then want to press the button so that I can make that web page live, so people can see it. And it going live is me having to talk to everybody about it and tell everybody in great detail about it. I've got to get that information out. But if I don't get that information out, it's like my brain wants to explode. So that's the best way I've been able to describe it. I've had other ways, like I've said, that I store information on different hard drives and then connect to the internet. That's basic, but it is like there is a switch in my head that I've done all of this research. I could be researching something for 6 months and don't want to share that information, but then suddenly I want to share it with everybody. It's like, now I've found everything that's really interesting in this, and you need to know absolutely everything about this because it's really interesting. And for me, sharing information is bond building. But on both sides, if I'm interested in what you're saying, I'll listen to you for ages and absorb all of that information and probably go and research even further what you said. But I feel like I'm bonding with people when I do that, so it's kind of a disconnect that I'm boring people because my brain is getting endorphins from it, and feeling very good about the situation because I'm sharing information. whereas the other person it probably isn't even receiving the information, is no longer hearing it because I've been talking about it for way too long. So it's kind of this weird disconnect that goes on that also isn't helped by the fact that I don't get social cues, and that I'm overthinking, that I then start overthinking about it later. So there's lots of things that are really complicated about this. And when I was thinking about the benefits of it, like I say, if you've got, or mitigation, so mitigations obviously with your family and friends is have that conversation with them, let them understand the fact that you're not being selfish, you're not meaning to do it, but it is really positive for you, and it will make you feel better once you've done it, that your brain is feeling, or my brain, sorry, I'm saying yours, like everybody feels the same way, I know everybody doesn't, but my brain feels better and lighter, and like I've had a good experience in that. And to say to them, you know, give me X amount of time to be able to talk about it, maybe an hour to be able to really monologue about it if you need to. And to ask questions as well. That's the other thing that really helps, is like if you ask questions, that's great, because I want to give you more information. It's like, that's more information, that makes me think about things, or I might have to go and research it more, and actually I didn't know as much as I thought I did about it, so I'll need to go and research more about it, because my brain definitely works in information exchange. It really, I crave information, I love giving information. But from a work perspective, where this really is beneficial to me is when I'm giving some kind of speech, or I'm giving some kind of information regarding a new process or anything like that, because I'll have learned everything about it, I'm sharing that information, I'm getting questions back based on it, and then that allows me to share further information. So it allows me to have a very controlled social interaction. So it's really, really positive in those situations. It's more when it is a one-to-one basis that it can be a bit of a problem. But it really does help if you're having to give any kind of information out to people in a work environment. From, like I say, from my perspective, when I've done shop managers meetings, it's been great because of the fact that they'll get as much information as they possibly need, and more probably, and that's a place where people are wanting to do it. So the positive is there are places where that is really good. But also, if you want to do videos like these, it actually does help to be able to monologue, because I'm monologuing. That's basically what I'm doing. I'm talking to the camera. I'm not talking to a person. I'm not being told to stop. I'm not having to focus on people's social cues and whether they want me to shut up. You might want me to, but I don't know it, so I'm able to get the benefit of the video doing it. So it's I want everybody to have benefits from it, but I benefit from being able to monologue into the camera as well. So that's another way of being able to deal with it and mitigate it. If you could do something like this, or you can find a group of people who want to listen to you in a situation. So if you, as I've said before, my friend goes to a book club, he will monologue within that book club about the situation that he's done. Maybe not for as long as he would want to, but he's still able to impart that information on people. So finding, you know, groups of people who want to do this as well, who want to hear what you've got to say. So yeah, there are the positives there, that I will overgive information. So I'll give so much information that people will know exactly what is expected of them in a situation, and I will want to share that information with them, and I want to impart information off people, which is a real positive. You know, wanting to give people information so they can do things in their job better is definitely something that's a positive, and something we should be taking as a positive. And giving people information and more knowledge is never a bad thing. So there are good things with it. It's just that I think people struggle with receiving it. So yeah, that's for me. The positive is that you're able to impart information on people. That you're able to have that conversation. If you are able to have that conversation with people, and they understand that it is of benefit to you, and it does help with. For me, it helps with my mental health to be able to have that place to monologue, and this is a really good place for me to do it. So I'm hoping that we can talk more about this one, because I don't necessarily have a huge amount of how to deal with this or how to stop it, and it'd be great if anybody's got ways of sort of managing it, other places they can think of where it's positive to do it, where they can get benefits from it. That'd be great to hear as well. So yeah, thank you very much, and I hope to see you in the next video. If you could comment and say how you feel about these things, what benefits you have from them, what things you see as positives, that'd be fantastic. I really would like it to be a community. I say it in every video, and I hope over time that is what will happen with them. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.